Fuck that. Yeah, Bang Bang Ray Hill. Only little one really. It's about, I've done part 2. This is my part 3, yeah. I went to the Mount, yeah, the Mount prison. I've got my IPP. But let me tell you a little bit about my IPP first of all and what happened, yeah. And so I got grassed up by my co-defendant Steve. I'm in the Conde Bear. I know I'll go to court. They keep telling me that, look, I went down to see my barrister. They introduced me to a bigger barrister, a higher one. And he said to me, look, we looked at all your paperwork and we've got all of the prosecution of this case and they have offered you a deal of 9 years. Do you want to take it? I said, but I'm not guilty of this offence. Why should I take 9 years if I'm not guilty? I want to fight this case, yeah? Even though my co-defendant, Steve, right, I haven't yet seen all the depositions to think what he's done to me, yeah? But I've seen a little bit, but not the grassing part of things. He's kept it down. I'm going to get it from my barrister, right? And he's not yet given me it, yeah? For reasons, maybe. This is the reasons, yeah? He's saying, okay, you was dressed as SO19. Your mates was dressed as custom and excise, right, yeah? I said, that's right. He said, you had a mask on, is that correct? I said, yes. Covers your nose, yes, that's right. Listen, there's a thing that they brought out called facial mapping, right? They can look at your face and get the exact same face. It's called facial mapping. They get to find out who you are, what you are by the way you structure your face, and also by the way you're walking about, moving about. I said, well, let them do it. It's not me. So anyway, I left it like that. I said, no, I don't want a 9 year. I don't want to take a 9 year. I'm not taking it. I don't want a 9 year. They give me 9 years. I mean, I've nearly done 2.5 years, 2 years, 2.5 years in the Conde Bear. I'm remand. So I'm thinking, well, 9 years, we'll do 4.5 years maybe. Do I want to take that? Another 2.5 years? No, I can't. I don't want to do no more, but I want to get out, yeah? No, I'm not taking it. I don't want the deal. So anyway, I go back to the Conde Bear. I want to go now and see my co-defendant. Yeah, I've got to go see him to say what they've offered me, this, that and the other. So I go to this wing, special wing they got in there, and go to see Steve. All right, Steve, what's going on, mate? Any news? Any depositions? Anything? No, I ain't got nothing. I said, they just offered me 9 years, Steve, to go guilty, mate. He went, no, right, oh, Ray. I went, well, what they offered you, Steve? He said, well, I said, what they offered you, Steve? He said, if I go guilty, they offered me a 5, Ray. I said, what are you going to do? He said, I don't know yet, I don't know. But all this time, he's already made a deal. He's already done that. So eventually I'll get to see my barrister again. He comes and sees me. He tells me that he's already spoke to the prosecution, no deal. I can't go back on it because that's the only offer I've had, and if I don't accept it at that time, no chance. He then gives me some depositions, right? I know it's too late now. He gives me the depositions to show me that my co-defendant has grossed me up big time. He said, look, I'll try to keep that from you, but this is it. I want to kill him, mate. He's put me right in it. He has put me right in it, but I've got to try and fight and get out of this. I can't believe it, mate. I want to go over to the ring and see him. I go over to the ring and see him. I said, Steve, what's happening, mate? He said, any news? He said, no. I said, listen, here's my deps here, mate. Read this. It's the only one part of it I want to read. That's why I bought a little bit of my deps. He shit himself. He went white. He went as white as anything. He was so petrified, he thought I was going to kill him, you know what I mean? I said, you got to get me out of this. You put yourself in it. They've offered you a 5. You've accepted the 5, Steve, as well. So you put me right in it, mate. Really, your guilty plea, co-defendant, you grasped me up. I'm in trouble, Steve. You've got to get me out of this, mate. Somehow, I don't know. Anyway. Got to the stage now that he won't even see me. He's refusing for me to come to the wing. He's petrified. When I go on visits, yeah, if he's on a visit, they separate me from him and this, that and the other, yeah. They know exactly what they're doing. We go to court. So we're going to court now for the judge, just as a sort of like talk to us this, that and the other and see how we're going to go, yeah? Go to court. I'll go in. I'll get in the box. I'll go down the end. No, I'll go in the beginning of the box. All of a sudden he comes in, Steve, he goes right to the very end of the box. Right at the very end. Other people have got to come in, but you got to take him right to the very end. I'm shouting out to him to keep his mouth shut, yeah? Get to what you call it, to Harrow Crown Court. That's around the corner where I lived, yeah? Go to Harrow Crown Court in front of this judge. Nice judge, that was a bad judge. But all of a sudden he's talking to me. He goes, Mr. Hill, you do realise that they have said that you are one of these people to get the IPP. I've got it in front of me, Mr. Hill, right, that you're eligible. You are one of these people that will get an IPP if you're found guilty of this offence. So I'm not saying nothing. Then I walk out. I'm gutted, mate. I went absolutely mad. Mad. Smashed the little cell oven, and people they took out the cell and smashing it up, ripping all the things up. I'm going crazy, man. There's nothing in the cell but benches, but I'm ripping them up, mate, ripping them apart. I'm going mad. They then come in, they take me out last to the wagon. They can't handle me, cuff me up 3 or 4 handed, boom, they take me out, take me to the wagon. At Steve, they put him in the beginning and they take me down to the end this time. So he comes out, I never see him again. The next time I see him, I'm in the conner bear. They keep telling me, go to meet people, I'm doing courses and this, that and the other. Telling me that I'm doing this ETS course and doing other courses. Telling me that it looks like you can get an IPP rate if you're found guilty to the sentence. What's an IPP? I said, well, no one really knows about this IPP. It's indeterminate public protection. No one really knows too much about it, right? But anyway, the court date comes, we go to court. Steve, same thing, the van, bump. I goes in. He's now in a separate part of our Crown Court. They call us up. I goes in to see my barrister. He's saying to me, what's going to happen, Mr. Hill? Are you going to plead guilty or whatever? I said, well, let's just see how it goes. Steve comes in court with me, but he comes in with 3 or 4 screws wrapped around him. He goes in first. We're supposed to go in together, we're charged together, but he goes in first, yeah? I can't believe it, mate. He's fucking gone crazy. So I said to Scrooge, I look at the spar, mate. He said, you're not supposed to. He said, but go on then. I'm looking at the spar, I can see his mouth going like this all the time, rabbit. Right? He's in there for about, 3/4 of an hour. He comes out, Scrooge drag him out. I said, you little cunt. I'm shouting out, yeah. Called me in the thing. I've got to go guilty. I've got to go guilty. Well, everything is put to me, I've got to go guilty. Must go guilty. Judges that, saying, Mr. You had plenty of opportunities to go guilty. But what makes you laugh, they offer you a 9-year sentence. They've already offered me a 9-year sentence. Now they're going to give me an IPP. It don't make no sense to me, yeah? Anyways, going into one, shouting and screaming at me in their own little way, the way the little, and like, you've got screens there, you want to jump out and get hold of them. He said, I'm sentenced you to 2.5 years IPP, Mr. Hill. And he said, the other, crash, took me away. I heard that Steve gets a 5. He got a 5, he did get the 5 he wants. He's done nearly 2.5 years remand, so he ain't got long to do before he gets out. I'm going mad in my wing, going crazy. Walks out, up, goes in the conner pair. So what'd you get, I said, 2.5 years IPP. I've done 2.5 years remand. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit more and I'm going to get out. Maybe my IPP, I'll do it on the road. I don't know. No one knows about this IPP too much. And all of a sudden, they start telling me about the IPP. I can't believe it, mate, that I've got to do all these courses, this and that and everything, yeah. And it's indeterminate, it's indefinite, yeah. It means you could be in there forever. I'm going, fucking hell. Then I'm starting to realise what's going on. I'm going mad, mate. He's left the prison. I'm there. They shipped me out over the Pete Doherty turnout. And you know about the Pete Doherty turnout anyway, but I'll say a little bit about it. Pete Doherty, I've already said it. It's just a waste of time talking about it again anyway. So, but it's more in my book what happens. So now they're taking me to the Mount. I'm an IPP. And I go there. This is mad. They put me on, I think they put me in this big wing. I forget the name of the wing now. When you first go in, they put me in this wing. It's mad. And I see these cut of screws at the gate, and I'm saying I've got to go there. And they let me out. And I'm walking around the nick, walking around the prison, I can't believe it. And this cut of screws come on the other side, what are you doing? I said, he said, anyway, he said, get back to the, anyway, I took me back to the wing, and man, the screws let me out, yeah? So now I'm doing this IPP. I'm going mad, mate. And when I go to the Bristow wing, I'm on the ones. They tell in the Mount, right? In the morning, everything is put on a board. I've already said this before. Everything is put on a board, and it tells you where you're going, what time you're going, who you're going to see. So 6, 7 weeks down the line, 8 weeks down the line, it comes on the board, rail, psychology. And where my cell is facing where the place is. So I see these women walking down there, these young women. Now I've got to go down. It goes in there. There's all these young women in there talking. We go in this big classroom. There's about 10 of us in there. You got to remember, there's 10 IPPs that have got to do these courses. There could be 50 in the nick, right? But we're one of the first 10s to get it, yeah. So we're lucky. But all the others might have to go to another nick to get do their courses. But I'm lucky, we're there, yeah. So we're talking about them, and they're talking. The first time we goes in there, they're talking to us about we've got to do like an act. We've got to act out our robberies and tell us what goes on in our robberies. And the way they do it is fantastic, yeah? You're doing it, you're acting out your robbery with the guns and it's sort of no guns, you're bashing people up, this, that and the other, right? And they're writing it all down and it goes on forever. And it goes on forever and ever and ever. And you could be waiting another 6 to 8 weeks to see him again. And then you can wait in 6 or 7 weeks to see him again. And it goes on, it keeps going on. Every time we go and see him, it's a different course, a different way, it's different. And then eventually, you've got it all your nut, you go on your parole board. After 7 years, 6 years, you go on your parole board to see him, your third parole. You go in there, and they're asking you questions, but you've got to remember, yeah, that you've done this psychology courses, and you took as much as you can take in, but you haven't as much as what you think you have. You did. So they're asking you questions, you're getting confused with it, yeah. And there was one guy on my first board, ex-police officer. You've got to remember that I've bashed up quite a few police officers over the years. Broken jaws, attempted murders, all them sort of things, yeah. So I ain't liked by the police. He's one of the one, but persuaded them not to give me my parole. So my probation officer, Christine LaRoe, fantastic probation officer. She can't believe what they've done to me, yeah. She said, you've done enough to get out, but you've got a knockback. You've got 2.5 year knockback. 2.5 years, not 2 weeks or months. 2.5 years. Oh, what, you can't believe it. So you've got to go all through that again. All through the psychology. More. But this time, because I was a little bit dyslexic, I wasn't really taking that much notice. Now I'm writing it down. Learning. 2s, 3s, 4s in the morning. I'm up doing it. Single cells, doing it. People playing records and all this. I'm going mad. I can't concentrate. I'm getting out in the mornings, going in people's cells, having a row with them. Keep your fucking noise down and all that. Going mad about the noise. I'm trying to concentrate. But you're in prison. You can't really stop them. It's prison. But I want to have rows in here, yeah? I'm starting to meet some white nice geezers that come in. Manny Clark, good fighter, Manny Clark. His son, Manny, good fighter. Look, all good fighters. Training with them. I've got a gym. I'm training hard. In the gym and the ring. I'm training all the time. Training these people. Loving my bit of bird I'm doing, but I want to get out, mate. I want to know how to get out. So now, because I know I've got to learn. Believe me, mate. When you know you got to learn, you fucking learn, yeah? I learned how to control my anger. You know what I mean? How to challenge my thoughts. How to look at my triggers. How to look at the pros and cons. That's all I've done 7 days a week is write it all down. How to challenge it, how to do this, how to do that. And getting it in my head as much as I could. Crash. Never stopped. Never stopped. Working out the gym, coming back, having a shower, eating my food, having a couple of heart attacks, which I did, seriously. Yeah, nearly, fucking, honestly. Anyway, didn't even know there was heart attacks, but when I came out, they told me that I've had 2 anyway. I'm looking at all the paperwork I'm doing, I'm reading all the time. Everything I'm reading, getting it all together. I've got a fantastic probation officer. When I first got a knockback, they was trying to give me a course called CSCP, Cognitive Self-Changing Program. Trying to get me to do that. If you do that, you ain't getting out ever, mate. That's an indefinite sentence. That's an indefinite course that they give to people. You got to be, and don't forget, I'm dyslexic, so me trying to do that is virtually impossible. But she gets me off it, Christine Rowe. She's a fantastic probation. She's all for me. I've done enough. She's saying, you've learnt, you've done enough. I goes up my second parole. I've done so much that even my case officer that's on my wing doesn't know what I've done. So much so, yeah. So when we go up on the board, I'm doing exactly what I'm taught to do on my psychology. I'm telling them everything that I've learned, and they're excited, yeah. So they got in front of them things that my case officer doesn't know that I've done. So they talked to the case officer, and they're saying to the case officer, how's Mr. Hill been in this? He's been good. Do you think Mr. Hill is eligible to be released or be put on DCAT? At the moment, I thought he was for me, 100% for me. At the moment, maybe a DCAT, release is out of question. Maybe a DCAT, but he'd have to prove a little bit more that he's quite eligible to get a DCAT. Okay. And then they talk to other people in the probation, and she's up for it, I'll get out, release or DCAT, yeah? She's 100%. Other people's psychology, they're saying the same thing. But my case officer, who's with me 24/7, doesn't think that I'm eligible to get DCAT, maybe DCAT or not released. So they said to this probation, my case officer, if Mr. Hill had done this and done that, and done what this and done what you're supposed to have done, and this, that, and the other, how would you think about it? Would you think that he should be released or on DCAT? So he's thinking about it. He's going, of course, but I know he hasn't done it. He should have done it. He hasn't done it. Well, let me tell you something. Mr. Hill has done it with flying colours. We've given him 98 out of 100. We've accepted he's done fantastic. So now my case officer can't believe it. Well, I don't know if it was an accident, it was all put together when they was in the room talking. But I thought, oh, wow, I can't believe it. As I walked out of the board, Christine Leroy came out to me on probation. He said, well done, Ray. It was a fantastic what you said. The way you come out of it, this, that and the other. and I think you're going to go get a decat. Hopefully, she said, yeah. Anyway, it takes forever. Ever. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months down the line, I'm downstairs in my little gym. Office goes upstairs. In about 5 or 6 screws in there. They got a bit of paper in front of them, but they say, "Listen, we've got some bad news here, mate." I went, "Oh no." They said, "You're going home." You're going home October the 1st. I went, "No." Do you know what? It's like, I cried, man. I cried because I thought to myself, I couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? You're going home October the 1st. Now I'm shitting myself that because I'm going home, I've got to be crisp, I've got to be so good in prison, I've got to be no trouble or nothing. I'm letting people play the Raiders all night, I don't care. just putting a pillow on my head and just letting it go, yeah? Not trying to keep out of trouble as much as possible. And eventually, a couple of my mates in there, I had nothing outside. I had nothing, yeah? Poor mum, my girlfriend had told her to go years ago. And I've done nearly 10 years, yeah? And I think I'm so excited, you know what I mean? And the guy came down and he said, "What are you wearing?" And I said, "Well, I've got this, that, and the other." He showed me what I've got. I said, "What?" He said, "Listen, I've got a nice pair of jeans that fit you and a top." So he came in with a top. It was tight because I was big, but it fitted good, yeah? I put these jeans on and I couldn't get them on. So I know I've got to lose weight around my waist. So every day I'm in my gym, I'm on the treadmill. Treadmill, like a lunatic, bike, sit up. And I got down, I got these jeans on, they fitted me. They even fitted me so much so that there was 2 loops, but my hips held them on, yeah? So now's the day that I'm going, I can't believe it, mate. I walked down through the gym, I opened the gym door, and I said, "There's a big class. See you, boys." And you can see a lot of them was happy. A lot of them you can see was pissed off, mate, with me because they're doing Big Bird, yeah? They ain't going to get out, and I suppose for ages, and I was, anyway, it's out of order me doing that, yeah? But I got to reception, you know, I mean, you're shaking. It's crazy that you 1 minute you're in there, doing your bird, the next minute you're walking down there, walking through to reception, and you're going out. It's mad. It's mad. And you don't believe that you've even been in the fucking prison doing all that bird. And I'm going to myself, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? You're there and they give you this wage packet, I think it's about 130 quid, something like that, and they give you other bits of papers to go to the social and all that, and it's that and the other, right? So you're sitting down, you're still waiting, you think any minute now they're going to say it's a mistake, because you can't believe it. And my mate Gary Francis is outside to meet me. I can't believe that either. So all of a sudden the gate opens up and you walk through this gate, mate. It's crazy. But when I walked out, it didn't feel like anything. It didn't feel like nothing to me, because I've been in a nick. The nick is big, a nice nick. You're walking around I don't know, it's crazy, man. And I thought, is this it? Is this what it is? But other nicks I've been to years ago getting released, I was felt different, But this time I couldn't believe it. Maybe it was the IPP, I don't know, it freaked me a lot, frightened me or whatever. I get out, my mate Gary Francis is waiting for me in the Mercedes. This thing's like a jet. This car he's got should not be allowed on the road. Shouldn't get lost in the car. I got in the Merc. There's colours, mate. I was really excited. And the mount to the top of the road is like, what, half a mile long? He put his foot down. I said, "Gary, I've just come out of prison with an IPP, mate. I don't want to die." He's doing about 120 miles an hour down this long road, mate. Anyway, when I get home, it's like the first person I want to go and see is my old mum. And when I see my old mum, mate, and as soon as she opened the door, I was in it. Tears, crying, cuddling. I ain't seen my mum for ages. Just lovey-dovey, you know what I mean? Breaks your heart, you know what I mean? You can't believe it. And that's me. But I'm going to do a bit more. I'm going to do maybe part 4, other things that's gone on in my life and other things, yeah. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Rail. Please like and subscribe, yeah. Bye-bye.